Well, that one hurt. Texas Tech falls 85-84 to the number 3 team in the country, and the Iowa State Cyclones in overtime at home at the USA. Today's video will recap the game, including discussing why 2 missed free throws late in regulation loomed large for the Red Raiders, and why I think there were actually some encouraging signs from Texas Tech in this ball game as well. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast. If you haven't already, be sure to join the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube by doing 3 simple things: liking the video, hitting that subscribe button, and turning on that notification bell to stay in the know on all things Texas Tech men's basketball all year long. All right. You know I like to get interactive here, and my mentions on Twitter after Texas Tech losses, and even sometimes during Texas Tech wins, are absolutely insane to me. So I want to ask you guys a question here, and let me know down on the pinned comment below. Will Texas Tech make the NCAA tournament? Just a simple Y for yes, N for no. Let me know down on the pinned comment below if you think the Red Raiders in year 2 of Grant McCasland will go and play in the greatest tournament in all of sports, i.e. the NCAA tournament. Simple Y for yes, N for no. All right, let's jump into the stats. But before we do, I want to lay the groundwork in terms of what I think was the difference. I heard what Grant McCasland said in his postgame presser. I respect Coach McCasland, but I disagree with him here on this regard. The reason you lost this game, and again, I hate to be that guy in terms of really just driving home like 1 play was the difference or 2 plays was the difference when there is a total 40 minutes of a game that came down to things. But if you look at the timing of these 2 respective shots we are about to discuss, it was the difference in all reality. It truly was. All right, so we're going to go to it. What I want you to look at down there is at the bottom of your screen where it says Elijah Hawkins field goal in terms of free throw, I should say, and then Chance McMillan free throw good, okay? You have Elijah Hawkins right there go and miss one of those free throws. It would have been a 4-point game with just about 20 seconds left in this one. The game would have been over. It would have been a free throw contest at that point, right? Instead, he misses it. Iowa State goes down, gets a quick layup, and then they foul Chance McMillan. Okay, you're up 2. Chance McMillan goes to the free throw line. Or you're up 1, excuse me. You have a chance to go up 2. He misses one of his free throws. The crazy part is Elijah Hawkins and Chance McMillan are both plus 90% free throw shooters. They had an opportunity to go up 4 if it was Elijah Hawkins, or to go up 3 if it was Chance McMillan. Instead, they only go up 2. Iowa State, to their credit, sees the door is left open, and they make a layup as the buzzer goes off. By the way, they added a half second correctly, I might add. The refs did in this one. But I thought the timing of it was interesting from the sheer standpoint of they did it after Chance McMillan made the second free throw. So if he would have missed the second free throw, would they have added the time? Anyway, it doesn't really matter. But those 2 free throws loomed large because, again, if Hawkins makes those free throws, again, 90% free throw shooter, 90 plus actually, makes those, you're up 4 with 20 seconds left. I'm not saying the game is completely over with at that point, but you were in the driver's seat to bare minimum be up 3 and make life difficult for the Cyclones to have to shoot a 3 and not have them have an opportunity to get to the rim. So there's that. But if we go back and let's just kind of look at what the home performance was for the Red Raiders here, okay? Again, 85-84 loss. Your leading scorers in this one were actually a trifecta. You had 3 guys score 18 points each. Chance McMillan was 6 of 11, 1 of 3 from 3, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, and had 8 rebounds to go along with 3 turnovers as well. I thought Chance McMillan actually played pretty damn well in this one. You had JT Toppin, who looked to have a scary ankle injury there in the second half, came back, but he was dominant in the first half. He had 18 points, 8 for 16 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, and led the Red Raiders with 9 rebounds. Then you had a guy that really kept you in the game, all things considered, because Elijah Hawkins, right, had 4 personal fouls, what felt like forever in this basketball game. It was actually kind of insane how quickly he got in foul trouble, but Christian Anderson came in as a true freshman and absolutely hooped. I thought he was phenomenal in this game. He had a couple of possessions that basically just bailed you out And he made some shots, in my estimation, that really kept Texas Tech in the game and didn't allow for Iowa State to continue with the little bit of momentum that the Cyclones had at any given point in the second half. So Christian Anderson goes for 18, 6 of 11, 4 of 4 from 3. He went 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Yes, he had 3 turnovers and a couple of just boneheaded true freshman type decisions. But overall, I thought he played phenomenal for the Red Raiders in this one. You look at the bench scoring, you had 24 points. You had 32 points in the paint if you were the Red Raiders. Points off turnovers were 15 and only 12 second chance points off of 16 offensive rebounds. Now, as I come back on the screen here for a second, again, I thought there was actually some positives in this game for Texas Tech, and I know some people aren't going to like to hear that, and we'll get to their tournament resume and where it stands right now in a second, but I thought Texas Tech specifically in the first half came out and was the more physical team, and that's saying something considering this team just hasn't been physical at all this season, right? And you played an Iowa State team, the number 3 team in the country, a team that will likely be a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, and a team, in my opinion, that is the clear-cut best team in the Big 12. You were more physical than them, and that's one of the brands of basketball that TJO's crew plays up there in Ames. They're physical, okay? And you were more physical than them for, I would say, probably about 30 minutes of this game. That was a positive. Another positive, in my opinion, is you had 2 of your best players in foul trouble what felt like right away, okay? Elijah Hawkins got in foul trouble pretty much right away in this one, and so did D5 in a lot of estimation. So you had those 2 guys in foul trouble what felt like for the entirety or at least the majority of this basketball game. You had multiple guys step up, and then, that doesn't even mention the fact that JT Toppin, you had that injury scare as well. I thought Christian Anderson was phenomenal in this game. I thought Chance McMillan just continues to be the model of consistency, and it feels like every night he has 15 plus in the most quiet way possible. He's a bona fide star in the Big 12. Those 2 guys kept you in the game, right? That's just the reality of it. And again, am I trying to find some moral victories here or, whatnot after a loss? No, I'm not. I'm saying that you improved and you played arguably the best team in the country to the absolute limit. You lost, an L is an L, right? Just like a win is a win, an L is an L. But there is a lot of positives that Texas Tech has moving forward and a ton of opportunities to still get a high-quality resume. And so when I see people say, RC, they're going to have to, win 12 to 13 games in the Big 12 moving forward to make the tournament, I don't know what you're watching. Okay, I don't know what you're watching. I posted this on Twitter. Forgive me for looking at my phone real quick. I posted this on Twitter because I had someone ask me, are they worried about Texas Tech? It was Dustin. I want to give Dustin a shout out, and he's not alone. This is not a call out to Dustin. It's more so I see a lot of this where it's like, RC, have you ever seen such a highly rated team with such a bad resume? Curious to how this plays out. Feels like you have to get to 12 to 13 conference wins to feel comfortable at this point. I get it. I feel like a lot of people feel this way in the Red Raider Nation space, right? Like, I disagree. I don't think you have to get to 12 to 13. I think you probably need to get to 10, and your resume needs to be solid, and every win after that helps you in the sense of, okay, your resume can be a little worse. But how about this? I went back and looked at 2024 on KenPom and teams that ranked higher in terms of non-con strength of schedule, 260th or higher in the country. Your eventual national champion, UConn, 283. You had Iowa State, the team you just beat last year. They ended up being a 2 seed in the tournament. They had the strength of schedule that ranked 345 last year. You had Illinois 260, BYU 329. Texas Tech currently in 2025 has the 317th non-con schedule. They're fine. They have every opportunity in front of them, right? Now, would this game have gone a long way in terms of helping them? Absolutely it would have. But they actually went up in terms of everything on most of these sites. And so you look at this as I switch on over, we're going to start with net here, okay? So we go to the net and you look at where the Red Raiders are. They literally lost 1 spot after losing to Iowa State. Oh, by the way, they have 2 quad 1 wins. Don't let anybody tell you that Utah win doesn't count as a quad 1. It will more than likely will count as a quad 1 just because how difficult the schedule Utah is playing because they're in the Big 12. Texas Tech is 17th or 18th, in the net. Then you go over to KenPom, and the loss actually helped the Red Raiders. They moved up. They were 17th in the country yesterday. Now they are ranked as the 14th best team, according to KenPom, right? And it's pretty close, right? They're right there with Arizona. There's a really close gap between 14 and 16, even all the way down to 17 in Texas A&M. But I'm not worried about the non-con schedule really at all if I'm Texas Tech, because you have every opportunity in the Big 12 to rack up quad one wins. I think you're probably going to need to get to that 7 quad one win, level there. But you think about it, okay, you played 4 games so far in the Big 12. You have 16 more opportunities to play, okay? You're going to have, I think realistically, this team is good enough to get to 10 Big 12 victories. I think it's very easy to see that you have 2 already, right? You need 5 more of those 16 games to be quad one victories, right? If you can win 5 more of them. And I think that is very well in the realm of possibilities. That being said, this loss to Iowa State absolutely sucked with the way that you lost it. Because again, I respect Grant McCasland. I respect the way that he does things, and he 100% did things in terms of his post-game presser the way a head coach is supposed to do them, in the sense of, we didn't do this right, we didn't do that right, we didn't do this right, so on and so forth, right? I get it. I'm right there with him. I understand. But I'll be honest with you. In my opinion, it's hard to look over the fact that Elijah Hawkins missed that free throw late to make it a 4-point game. It's hard for me to look over the fact that Chance McMillan, a 90% free throw shooter, missed one of the 2 to make it a 3-point game. And then Iowa State goes the length of the floor in 6 seconds and gets a layup as time expires. Okay. It's hard for me to do so. Were there other things Texas Tech could have done right in that game to help them be in a better position to win? Absolutely. But you had 2 guys that were 90% free throw shooters go to the line at the end of regulation, and they missed one of the 2 free throws they had that would have pushed it, if you were Elijah Hawkins, to a 2-possession game, or then Chance McMillan to a 3-point game, to make it to where Iowa State, with no timeouts remaining in regulation and 6.2, I believe 6.3 seconds to go the length of the floor, would have had to have a 3-pointer. It sucks, but that was the difference in the game, I thought, because it felt like, to me, once you got to overtime, it's going to be really hard pressed for you to beat Iowa State. Credit to Texas Tech. They fought like hell to win that game in overtime. And you could argue even the D5 missed free throw in overtime really hurt Texas Tech. But overall, that's what stood out to me. This game should have been over in regulation. Unfortunately, it wasn't, and Texas Tech falls to 0-2 at home now in Big 12 play as they look forward on their schedule, traveling to Manhattan to play Jerome Tang and the fighting Kansas State Wildcats, a team that had a lot of hype coming into this year. Texas Tech is going to have to win that one in a place that they simply have not won a lot, up in Manhattan. But that game will take place on Tuesday, as the Red Raiders are now 2-2 in the Big 12. RELAX. They're fine. Understandably, you're upset that they lost 2 games at home. That's uncharacteristic of Texas Tech, but they're okay. They're okay. They're still a really good team, and a team that, in my estimation, is an NCAA tournament team, and they have every opportunity to prove it with their 16 remaining Big 12 games. All right, that's going to do it. If you haven't already, one more time, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell for 100% free Texas Tech men's basketball content all year long, whether it's on the recruiting trail or on the hardwood. There's no better place to get your Texas Tech news, rumors, and everything in between. So join the largest group of Texas Tech fans on YouTube and the largest independently owned Texas Tech podcast on YouTube. Nobody close to 11,500. We are here. So join the most active community of Texas Tech fans on YouTube by liking the video, hitting that subscribe button, and turning on that notification bell to join the Back to 12 squad today.